Hey guys, and welcome to my top 10 games of the year. So this video is exactly as it says in the tin. I'm going to run down my top 10 games that I played this year. Let me know in the comments if you agree, disagree, what were your top 10 games, all that jazz. But yeah, hope you enjoy. I hope you've had a fantastic Christmas and a happy new year. And yeah, let's get straight to it. Number 10 is Scorn. Now, Scorn nails its look and its atmosphere, and the major thing that lets Scorn down is its combat, because there's too much of it and it's terrible. There's that, and then there's also the fact that there's no UI at all. So like when you pick up ammo, you're not told that that's where it is. You have to figure it out, and I ended up figuring that out by going into the keybind settings for something else and discovering that there's a reload button. I didn't even know that was a thing, or why I wasn't told or anything like that. So yeah, the combat is just dire, and the lack of UI, while an artistic choice and for most of the game, very good one, some basic UI decisions should have been in there, just to give you a heads up on how to play certain aspects of the game. Otherwise, it's just dumb. So, Scorn is my number 10. It nails its atmosphere, it nails its look. If you like H.R. Geiger, definitely go check it out. But yeah, just be aware that the combat is dodgy. Number 9 is Return to Monkey Island. Now, Monkey Island series has been going almost as long as I've been playing games. I remember playing them, the original games, back when I was a kid. I never super got along with them because I could never figure out the puzzles. The puzzles were too esoteric for my young mind to get my head around, and unfortunately that still applies to Monkey Island. Return to Monkey Island, but that's now part of the charm, if that makes sense. And the fact that this one was written and directed by Ron Gilbert, who is one of the original designers of the original Monkey Island, gives it a certain cachet. And to be fair, there are some very funny, some very laugh out loud bits to it, and it's really well done. It's got kind of a cool art style, and when you do figure out the puzzles, it's really satisfying, and it does brilliant things with the hint system as well, where it doesn't seem to punish you for using it, and things like that, and just is genuinely useful. And there's also an easy setting where it takes some of the puzzles out and just lets you crack on with the story, which for people whose this is their first point and click adventure would be really useful for. So yeah, if you're looking for a point and click adventure, you can't go wrong with Return to Monkey Island, and you don't even need to have played the original games. There is a handy catch-up sketchbook thing that it does to get you up to speed on the story. So my number 9, Return to Monkey Island. Number 8, the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. Now, I never played the original Stanley Parable. I heard a lot of good things about it, and heard there is a send-up of just video games as a medium and things like that. And when Ultra Deluxe came out, I thought, let's give that a try. Why not? And yeah, I can see why so many people say good things about it. It's a send up of many video game tropes. It's actually very good. It is genuinely funny. The narrator is sarcastic and has some brilliant writing, and it is just really good. And there's lots of different endings to discover. Probably a few too many, but it is really cool, and it's different. It's genuinely something just a little bit different. So if you're looking for a more esoteric video game, check out my number 8 pick, The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. 7. Overwatch 2. Now, just like with The Stanley Parable, I never played the original Overwatch, and I came to Overwatch 2 because I wanted to put Halo Infinite and Fortnite down. So I came to Overwatch 2, and yeah, it's good. It's dated. What I will say is the reason it occupies the number 7 slot is that it's dated. There's a lack of verticality that you get with more modern games like Halo Infinite, Apex Legends, Fortnite, things like that. Like sniper classes can't stand on top of buildings to try and snipe people, which is just weird to me, and stuff like that. But there's a lot to learn from new players. There's a lot of cool characters and things like that. And stuff like that. If you haven't played the original Overwatch, I do recommend Overwatch 2. It is a very good online multiplayer game. It's just a bit dated. The people who are saying that it's Overwatch 1.5, I can completely see why they are saying that. But still, I super enjoyed the time that I played with it. I unfortunately didn't continue playing it as better online games came out. So, but I still had plenty of fun with it this year. So my number 7 pick, Overwatch 2. Number 6, As Dusk Falls. Now, As Dusk Falls is I would say it's an evolution of the formula set out by games like Monkey Island, the original Monkey Island, and things like that. It's a point and click adventure, but without so many puzzles. It's more narrative driven, and you make decisions based on conversations and guide the story down a certain path. And I would describe it as a thriller more than anything else, and it is a very good one. I very much enjoyed my time with As Dusk Falls. It's got a really good soundtrack, some really good writing, some really good acting. The art style is genuinely different. So, like one of the first things I think of when I think back to As Dusk Falls is how it looks. It's a really, really cool looking game, and I highly recommend that you play it once. Whatever decisions you make, that's your canonical version of the game. You can go back and see all the other bits of it that you've missed if you want, but don't do that. Have your run as your run. Never play it again, because then you'll just get a top-notch story, and two people might not have the exact same story. So I highly recommend you do that. So yeah, my number 6 game, As Dusk Falls. Number 5, Stray. Stray caught just about everyone's attention when it was announced because it's one of the few games that has ever been put out where you play as a cat. And not like a cybernetic cat or a cat with guns or anything, just a cat. Now that's not to say you don't end up with something cool, because you end up with a robot strap to your back, and you are running around a world filled only with robots. There are no other living things other than cats. and you're the main cat of that bunch. And the story is it's told mainly through environmental storytelling, and there's some more direct storytelling as you interact with different characters and solve different puzzles and things. But it's a really cool looking world. The robots that you interact with have a really cool, distinct look to them, and it's just kind of cool to just play as a cat. It sounds really stupid, but it is just something a bit different, something you don't see every day from games. And yeah, Stray is really cool. It doesn't outstay its welcome. It's only about 6 hours long. If you haven't played it, definitely go check it out. As Stray is my number 5. Number 4, Call of Duty Warzone 2. Surprised? If you've been watching my stream or reading any of my articles for some time, you know I have major problems with Call of Duty and Warzone specifically. The original Warzone was a pay-to-win nightmare, and it deserved far better than what it got. So I went into Warzone 2 skeptical, to say the least. And actually, I've found that I want to keep playing it, and I want to get better at the game and things like that. And while Warzone 2 is still pay to win, because the simple fact of the matter is the easiest way to unlock your attachments for your guns and get a better loadout is to have the full version of Call of Duty, because full version of Call of Duty's multiplayer is the fastest way to unlock your weapons, right? Now, I have a problem with that, but they have taken the emphasis off the loadouts in Warzone 2, so it's not as much of a problem, and all of the weapons feel like you can compete with them. So you can pick up almost entirely floor loot and not get a loadout and get into the top 10, get into the top 3. I've got into the top 3 with only floor loot before now. I've yet to win. It's something that is on my bucket list to get a solo win in Call of Duty Warzone 2. But yeah, the de-emphasis of the loadouts takes away a major bugbear of the first game, and actually makes Warzone 2 fun, because you're not constantly feeling like you're just battling people who have more time than you, and you don't feel like battling against skill-based matchmaking that's based on how much money you've spent in the store, and you're not battling people who have spent all that money in the store to get the guns with all the attachments unlocked for the blueprints, and just get better weapons and things. And yeah, I'm surprised at how much I enjoyed Warzone 2, which is why it is my number 4 for 2022. Number 3, Horizon Forbidden West. Now, I loved the first Horizon. It was genuinely cool. I wanted to play it from the second I saw the game's first reveal trailer, and the giant mechanical T-Rex with a rocket launcher strapped to its back trundled across the screen. It was just like, this is a game I want to play. So I played the first one, absolutely loved it. Horizon Forbidden West was as soon as it was announced, it was like, I am buying that game. That's what I did. And yeah, it says a lot that I thought I was around maybe the 50, 60 hour mark. And then when I actually looked, I played nearly 100 hours. Hadn't even realized. That's just how good of a game it really is. It was it just sucked me into the world, sucked me into the time. I just wanted to keep playing it, wanted to get some of the better weapons and keep fighting the things. And some of the accessibility options were just fantastic. Like, how do you take away the grinding aspect of the game? Well, you can customize the difficulty so that you get easy loot, so you're not having to knock off parts of the machines. You can just kill them any which way you want. And you can set the enemy health to story mode level, where a few shots will take them out, 1 or 2 shots will take them out, and you get all the loot. It's just brilliant ideas like that. I don't think the story is quite as good as the first game, but that might be a virtue of it doesn't have the same impact as the first game, because it is a sequel. It has been seen before. It's more of Horizon, and you'll know yourself if you like that game. If you like that look and you like that style of game, then you'll know if Horizon Forbidden West is for you if you haven't played it yet. But yeah, for me, it was my 3rd best game of this year, Horizon Forbidden West. Number 2, Neon White. Now, Neon White came a bit out of the blue. I thought it looked kind of cool. I loaded it up, gave it a try, and it wasn't quite what I thought to begin with, but then it turned out to be incredibly addictive to try and get the best score that you can. Now, I didn't go for the absolute best score possible, because I would still be playing it now if I did that, because I would have to do it on every single level, and it would take me forever just trying to get good enough to be able to be at the top times. But just getting into the rhythm of a Neon White level, where you're picking up the cards and you knowing exactly where to bounce and exactly where to shoot, and you're doing it all in this rhythmic time and getting it and bouncing and launching and killing the enemies at the right time and getting the power-ups at the right time and finding the optimal route. It's just a fantastic feeling. It's an absolutely brilliant game, and I actually really enjoyed the visual novel story of it as well. I thought it was a very cool concept, but you just can't fault the gameplay side of it as well. The gameplay is what makes it stand out. The story, I freely admit, take it or leave it, but the gameplay, just chef's kiss, absolute pitch perfect for what it was going for. And if you have other friends playing the game, you can compete against them and try and beat their score, should I say, and things like that. And yeah, just absolutely fantastic. So my number 2 pick for 2022 is Neon White. And finally, my number 1 pick, my game of the year for 2022 is Tunic. Tunic is, if you wanted a modern Zelda game that isn't on a Nintendo platform, Tunic is what you would pick. However, you would then soon discover that the combat is nothing like Zelda. The combat is closer to Dark Souls than it is Zelda. And I freely admit it took me longer than it should have to work that out. But once I did, and I figured it out, and I started being patient with it, started taking my time with the boss enemies and the standard enemies, and started upgrading my powers and understanding how all the different powers are intermingled and things like that and stuff, and started exploring the world. It was just a world you wanted to explore and wanted to find all the different aspects in, and the instruction manual in it, which is one of the collectibles, so you don't have the instruction manual to begin with. You collect pages of it as you go through the game, and it does add to the story, and as well as add into what you can and can't do. And it's written in this other language with bits of English thing over it, and then also there's like little pen writings that someone's handwritten on it, as though they were actually looking through a physical manual and working it out for himself. And it's just a really cool aspect of it. It looks fantastic. The music is absolutely brilliant in it. And yeah, just the gameplay is absolutely perfect. And when I think of Zelda now, I think of like Breath of the Wild, and then my next thought is Tunic. It is absolutely perfect combination of Dark Souls style combat and Zelda like exploration, and you play as a cute fox. What could go wrong with that? But yeah, my game of the year, number one, top of my list for 2022 is Tunic. Guys, I hope you've enjoyed this top 10 list. I really enjoyed putting it together. I hope you've enjoyed watching me play through these games this year. Like I say, let me know in the comments and your top and everything, your top 10 games of the year. Do you agree with mine? Do you not agree with mine? Let me know. Even just what your favorite game of 2022 was. I want to know. And if you don't want to do that, just drop a smile in the comments, just a smiley emoji, and let's get a bit of engagement. And I'm looking forward to streaming more in 2023 and seeing what cool games come out in 2023.